Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. Today is Tuesday, October 4th, and you have reached Trivita's Tuesday night corporate conference call and webinar series. My name is Ted Hernandez. I'm the Director of Affiliate Marketing here with Trivita at our corporate offices in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Want to welcome our affiliates and guests all around the world for joining us on tonight's live broadcast. We are, well, for some of you, it's good evening, and for some of you, it's good morning. So we want to welcome you to a part 4 of our 10-part webinar series. Tonight's program, of course, is entitled Co-op Media Overview, where we're going to take some time tonight to walk you through the components of how co-op media works. And as always, joining me on this live broadcast is your International Sales Director, Mr. Terry Newsom. And we've got a great program lined up. Terry's got some important information he wants to cover at the top of the program. We've got some incredible news about the month of September, and we've got really a great program lined up for you this evening. And of course, joining us on tonight's program, as we've been promising, is Presidential Director, Mr. Mitch Lover. Mitch is going to come on and talk about how he uses the media program within his organization. And he's also going to talk a little bit about some of the way he's using the media program to motivate and encourage people within his group. So you're going to hear some of those best practices from Mitch later on in the program. So I think the first thing that we're probably going to want to do to kick off tonight's live broadcast, as we always do, is to talk about some corporate updates and some information that's happening right now at the corporate offices. First thing I want to make sure everybody knows is that all of these webinars, whether it be the live recording or the PowerPoint slides or the Q&A that's always asked at the end of the broadcast, we are posting all that information right in your communication center, and you can access that communication center right from your back office. And from the back office and the communication center, you can choose the recording tab, and you can see this particular webinar series is all being grouped together from part 1 up to part 3, and of course tomorrow you'll see tonight's broadcast for part 4. But included in that posting, you'll also notice there are 3 links to the right of each of these webinars, and that's a recording of the webinar. It is the PDF of the slides, and of course all your responses from your best practices when we ask a question of our general audience. So if you are joining us for the very first time tonight, you'll definitely want to stick around till the end of the program to not only hear the great things that Mitch Lover has to say, but also to share some of the ideas that you're going to be asked of at the end of the program. And as always, we're going to give away some nice prizes. Well, I want to begin the program tonight by kicking it over with some important corporate updates and announcements to your International Sales Director, Mr. Terry Newsom. Terry, I'll give it to you. It's all yours, my friend.
Ted Hernandez, thank you very much. Exciting times here at Trivita. I'm excited, Ted, because the Directors Leadership Forum is right around the corner in February. So just a quick note, if you haven't registered, I encourage you to do so. There's no charges on your credit card. You just go in, you register. If you've already qualified, to attend, get registered. Give us some visibility because we want as many people there as possible. Another corporate update, I'm sure you saw in the Communication Center, our policy regarding moving and or proselyting cross-recruiting members, AMs, and ITBOs. Now, I want to talk to you about that just briefly. We are coming off, a huge co-op advertising. Our cooperative marketing initiative for September was amazing. More about that in a few minutes, but it was another record month. And we are continuing to grow. Our company is expanding internationally, and so there's some housekeeping. There's some things that we needed to ensure the long-term integrity, of our company. One of those issues is members that are being upgraded and moved. They're being upgraded to affiliate members and being moved to other organizations. So we've cleaned up some of the policies. Very excited about this. Basically it says that members and affiliate members or ITBOs may not be moved for any reason. It is prohibited for an AM or an ITBO to solicit, recruit, or request that a member or an AM be moved regardless of reason. We want to ensure the integrity of lineage. It's very important. So we want to just firm up that policy. It's self-explanatory. And, of course, the reasoning behind that is, when someone comes in as a part of an organization, especially when they come into the co-op advertising, there's just no reason for them to be moved. So that's a very welcomed policy, getting a lot of positive feedback on that. Second part of that policy is that, you know, if you personally enroll, recruit, or sponsor a member, you know, you can move those individuals. Those personally enrolled members, AMs and ITBOs placed on your first year may be moved by you one time, and this one-time move must occur in the balance of the month of their enrollment or the next full calendar month. So you've got, you know, it could be up to 60 days to be able to move that person one time. That's a good team management tool for you. And you may elect to remain as the enroller, or you may elect to give the enroller away to the person that you place them under. So that's certainly a policy that you can continue to use to team build and manage. And of course, the third part of the update was cooperative advertising program policy for moving co-op advertising media contact. This is a big deal here. Okay, you know, we have some people that have come in through the co-op advertising within just a few weeks. Were upgraded to affiliate members and moved out of that individual's organization. And we need to go ahead and have policies in place that keep this from happening. So media contacts acquired through Travita's co-op advertising program are not classified as your personally enrolled members and cannot be moved even when upgraded to an AM or an ITBO. Once that contact is placed and lineage is established, movement of these contacts is strictly prohibited. So in the spirit of moving forward, let's leave these members where they're at. It is part of our growth process to be able to build those corporate assets and to keep those members, you know, where they are, so that we can continue to protect the integrity and the lineage, you know, of the program. So, Ted, if we can move to the next slide. Hope you can hear me okay.
You bet. And Ted, if I could ask you, just, yeah, keep close to that microphone. We're getting you fading in and out a little bit. Okay,
thank you very much. You can hear me now, though, right?
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Okay, great. So, hey, here's some fantastic news. Travita historical sales month, September 2011, okay, highest sales day in the history of Travita. Unbelievable. Congratulations on your success. Everybody did a fantastic job. But it doesn't stop there. It was the highest sales week. September 24th through September 30th, 2011 was the highest week in the 12-year history of Travita. Doesn't stop there. The whole month of September 2011 was the highest sales month in the history of Travita. A lot of you have called and said, wow, are these volumes, TGV volumes, are they right? Is this really happening? Yes. It is an amazing thing. We are definitely in the sustained growth phase. And like I mentioned earlier, our cooperative marketing, our co-op reservations, a record absolutely shattered the all-time record for co-op media, even back in the old B12 days. This is the biggest month in the history. So you add that all up, and I can tell you that your future has never looked brighter with Travita, and very excited for you, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your efforts. Back to you, Mr. Hernandez.
I appreciate that, Terry. Terry, before we dive into the information, I know that that was a very exciting day as you and Michael and Marcus talked about the sales for the month of September, and I just wanted you to share that great news with the field, because we know that as the International Sales Director, you're intimately involved with the numbers, the sales, the campaigns, the growth, the different leadership out there that's having the extended growth. So I know it was a great day for you when you heard these numbers at the end of the month. So Terry, not only congratulations to the field, but to you, to the corporate leadership here for all their effort and work in making those numbers just absolutely incredible. Elizabeth Guthrie, who manages all of our call center operations, was busting at the seams to get the information out. So again, a great company day when we were able to announce this. Well, as always, I want to kind of jump into our program today, but before I do that, I want to ask you a question out there of our affiliates that are in the audience tonight. And here's tonight's question. And again, I want to make sure that we understand that we know that we've got some people outside of North America on this webinar, and that's fantastic. I just want to make sure that we understand that this question mainly goes out to those folks in North America. And our question is, for North American affiliates, have you made a co-op media reservation within the past year? And obviously it's very simple, yes or no. And I think this is good information for both Terry and Mitch tonight as they cover the information to kind of get an idea as to who's out there and what you guys are doing. So you can see that obviously we've got, almost an 80-20 rule, which Terry is almost exactly as you predicted, an 80-20 rule when it comes to those reservations. And I think that's important because we want to find out the next thing, and that, of course, is, well, why is that? Why are we only having, 80% of our affiliates? And again, if you're from, Australia or New Zealand, we know the program's not out there just yet. Let's do a follow-up question to that. And this question simply asks this. For our North American affiliates, if you have not made a co-op reservation in the past year, can you tell us why? And the options are simple. Have you not participated, again, in U.S. and Canada because of the cost? Or maybe you're not building through that particular program or media. Maybe you don't understand the program and how it works. Hopefully tonight that will change that. Or you just weren't familiar or aware of the co-op program. Maybe you're a guest on the program tonight. Maybe you are a new affiliate with Trivita. Maybe you haven't been exposed to it, so you maybe don't know much about the program. So let me go ahead and show you what our results are on that. And it looks like, Terry and Mitch, that the cost, 67%, is number one. And then, as predicted, some of the folks on the line out there don't really understand what the program is all about. So that's exactly what we're hoping to solve tonight on tonight's program. So again, appreciate you answering those poll questions. It does help our presenters kind of understand who's out there in our audience tonight. And I'll have a couple more poll questions as well. Well, let's jump into part 4 of tonight's program. And, of course, this is the part 4 of the webinar series, which is the power of the 25 customer model. And as we've been talking throughout this webinar series, we're talking about how you can have a model to Dash to Director. How can you acquire those 25,000 Vita points to get yourself to the level of Director? And we talked about, particularly in session 1 of the webinar, we talked about what that model looked like. If you can find 25 customers and you can find 10 other ITBOs who can find 25 customers, the model's very simple. That enables you to get to that Director level. We've been talking about in the first part of our webinar series the personal referrals. And again, we've been talking about this railing. If the objective is to get to Director, there are 2 rails within this program. One, of course, are your personal referrals, and we covered that in parts 1, 2, through 3 in the webinar series. The other rail is using co-op media, and we're going to focus on the next 3 webinar series to talk about that. So parts 4 through 6 are going to talk about co-op media, so that'll be our focus for the next couple of weeks. Well, let me ask another polling question, because I think that this is also going to help us to understand a little bit our audience and who we have tonight on our program. And our next polling question asks, what country are you joining us from today? Now, again, in GoToWebinar, I only have 5 choices, and I'm sure we have more than just these 5 options. But for tonight, it's United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and other. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and choose one of those. It looks like everybody's got their answers in. I'll go ahead and share those results. And it looks like we have a good percentage of our attendees from the U.S., 73, 22% from Canada, and 5% from Australia. And again, I want to share this information with you because I think it's important for these Australians who we have on the program tonight. As I've been talking about through this webinar series program, don't forget the information we cover is country specific. So whether we're talking about the gift of health and what information goes inside the box, or tonight's information, which is talking about media, which of course, as we know, is on its way to Australia, keep in mind that the information we cover is going to be specific on the country that we're operating in. And that's just a great problem to have as our company continues to grow. Well, let's now pick up with our new information. Let's talk about part 4. Let's talk about the co-op media overview. And let's give you a nice understanding of how this whole system works. And you know what? We could not ask for a better person to start tonight's webinar off than Terry. So Terry, I'm going to kick it back to you, because if you all don't know, one of Terry's great expertise, other than sales, motivation, enthusiasm, knowledge of this industry for 30 years, he is an expert when it comes to media. If you've had a chance to work with him or talk with him, you understand his knowledge of call centers and scripts and how infomercials work. And if you were ever on an infomercial, you saw how great he was at getting a testimonial on tape. So Terry, let me kick it over to you and have you talk about in this first section, what is co-op media, and give us this overview.
Ted, thank you very much. I would like to share that this aspect of our program, even though Trivita, this is a real true key point of differentiation in the marketplace, this aspect of our program was designed for AMs to expand their customer base and contacts. Now, yes, we have the two pathways. We have the referral pathway that's going extremely well, but this cooperative advertising program is really taking a life of its own. It is gaining momentum. We have a lot of people excited about it. But let's not forget that this program was designed as an option for you to expand your customer base and your contacts. That's outside of your own personal contacts. This is a great way to be able to do that, to think that you can partner up with a company, and that company can pool its resources together, that you can combine your efforts with other successful affiliate members and leaders of this company and go out and leverage the power of media to be able to create customers, not leads, but customers that have said, yes, I want to experience wellness. Yes, I want to be able to take these products to live a better quality of life. To think that you can participate in that, and that there's really no cost. We don't have annual fees. We don't have membership fees. You don't have to pay for the right to participate in this program. It's something that's available to everyone. So Trivita allows AMs to acquire the contacts through our media efforts, and leveraging the power of media. Now, no one does it better than Trivita. Why? Because we have the relationship, the strategic alliance with Ellison Media Company, which Michael Ellison founded almost 40 years ago. And I've worked with a lot, like Ted said, I've worked with a lot of media companies. I've been in the media industry for many years, and I've never seen a company be able to leverage the power of media to be able to go in and make those power buys and be able to pool the resources together to give you the best opportunity for media acquisition to acquire those quality contacts. And it's not just leads, it's not just names, it's the quality of the programming, the quality of the infomercial. Everything culminates, comes together to bring you one of the greatest assets that you have, and that is that member, that customer acquired through the media. No one else has it. Now, the contact rate is based on current advertising rates. Once again, you know, on a small scale, we've all tried to advertise in the local paper, right? We've all tried to put classified ads. We put flyers out. We've tried very low-cost advertising methods and rationale to try to generate customers, you know, on our own. We just can't do it. How can we compete with the power of the cooperative marketing initiative and being able to go out and leverage the power of media? Advertising is expensive. It's not scalable. It's not quantifiable. It really is something that the average person cannot do. This gives you a chance to get the lowest possible rate to be able to expand your customer database. And, of course, compensation is paid on contacts on their product purchases through the compensation plan. Now, we all know that Trivita's compensation plan is the best in the industry, and I do not say that lightly. I've been in this industry for a couple of decades, and I'm going to tell you, I know a little bit about comp plans. I know what our competitors are offering out there. I know just about every comp plan that you can name. I've never seen anything as balanced. I've never seen anything that really rewards those that do the work better than Trivita's compensation plan. It is the highest payout in the industry. We've got the weekly income accelerator, the fast start bonus. Nobody even comes close to comparing to what we pay out on that. And also keep in mind that we're able to have the back-end marketing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about that. But the back-end marketing also helps you be able to recapture those advertising expenses as you participate. And the compensation plan maximizes that for you, and we're very excited. Our plan measures up Nobody in the industry can really compete with what we do, so we're very excited about that. And as we move to the next slide, just keep in mind that the results, and I'm talking about the success of the program. I've already mentioned September 2011 is an all-time record for co-op media, shattered the previous record. You know, I was on the Australian conference call last night, and you know, we've got, you know, I was sharing, we've got people that have participated in this program for over 10 years. We're talking historical data. We're talking people that continue to buy co-op media, continue to buy these media contacts. Why? Because the system works. It is our key point of differentiation, and we can predict the results on a small scale. You know, in advertising, frequency of the message is as equally important as the message itself. You know, when you're flipping and, you know, got these major, you know, stations like ABC Family Channel, you've got Fox News, you've got Discovery Channel, you've got ION, you've got the Food Network, you've got these powerful national cable entities that continually air the infomercial, and you're flipping from one national cable to another, and you see the no-play infomercials all over the place. The frequency, the message that sends is that, hey, here's a successful product that's delivering results. Listen to the testimonials. You see that we continually are upgrading these television shows. Why? Because we're freshening up the creative. We're adding new testimonials because we continue to advance the mission through the power of media. And so we're able to predict the results on a small scale. What that means to you is that you don't have to buy dozens or hundreds of these media contacts. It really levels the playing field. It gives you an opportunity to participate and to be able to, even if you're only buying a few bundles, to participate on a small scale. And the co-op advertising initiative does go beyond your personal warm market, like I mentioned before. The referral pathway is awesome. It does drive the mission. But this goes beyond your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, the people, you know, that you're able to, you know, to participate or, you know, get involved in the mission. And it does go beyond that warm market, and that's another asset to being able to participate in this program. We talk about Travita's back-end marketing. Did you know the company spends 11% of its operating budget driving reorders and back-end revenues for you? That's 11% of our operating budget. We're talking 8 touch points a month. The Vita Journal, the catalog, the video emails, the weekly wellness reports, all of the things that we do to communicate with your customers drives reorders. And if you take our compensation plan payout, if you take the fact that we're the highest payout in the industry, over 50% in real dollars, you add 11% to that, we're over 60%. No one can compare to the payout you know, that Travita offers when you consider that 11% of the operating budget is designed for your behalf. Hey, how many other companies, seriously, how many other companies out there generate reorders from their distributors, send out catalogs to hundreds of thousands of customers every month? It just doesn't happen. So the back-end marketing is a real big part of your success. Affiliate member follow-up. Marcus Ellison says it best. You know, the fortune's in the follow-up. You want a 20 to 30% increase in your reorder rates and your retention rates? Personally follow up. Reach out to your customers. You don't have to have experience in sales and marketing. You don't have to have telemarketing experience. You just have to have the desire to help someone experience wellness. Reach out, introduce yourself, and let them know that you care about their wellness journey. Let them know that you care about the quality of their life. And it will make a difference. Why? Because instead of a business transaction, now you have two people that care about each other, that have a personal friendship, a personal relationship, discussing, making an informed health decision that will benefit both parties. It really is a game changer. It really does add a new dynamic to your Travita business. So we can't encourage you enough to follow up. You know, we've got, you know, I was on the Australian call last night. I had another question from someone that says, hey, We're excited about the co-op advertising coming down here to Australia. This individual, I guess, was looking to, to have, to buy, pretty large numbers of these media contacts. He asked about people that were buying, multiple bundles and how these people were able to handle that. And I gave the example, and I'll share that with you today. We've got doctors, cardiovascular MDs, surgeons, people that work 70, 80 hours a week, and that certainly don't have the time to personally follow up. But we've got one individual, one doctor hired someone, I think from Craigslist or some internet site, and paid her a very small, hourly rate and said, I want you to follow up. I want you to read these scripts. I want you to follow up with these customers. And are you ready for this? Last month, the month of September, her and her son, her young son, they were able to, they sold over 200 4-packs. 200 4-packs. There's over $250,000 in reorders, and we're talking about 2 people. We're able to make generate that kind of revenue, making follow-up phone calls from the bundles purchased from this doctor and his wife and his adult children. So it is possible, really, for 1 or 2 people to generate significant income if they focus, so that even if you are someone on this call that perhaps, dash now and continue to buy multiple bundles every month, if it's overwhelming from a time standpoint, you can bring someone in to follow our scripts and to follow up, and you'll be amazed at the results. And finally, I want to close with this. We're talking about business value, the business asset value. These media contacts are assets for you. Their personal purchases generate revenue. It's a revenue-generating asset. And these media contacts also generate referrals. Other people that are interested in not only experiencing wellness, but also may participate, and it creates an asset value. And that is one of the key points of differentiation as well as far as Trivita when it relates to other direct selling companies, is that you've got a legitimate business that has an asset value. And part of that asset value are these media contacts. And we've said it on these calls before, your Trivita business is normally worth 2 to 5 times annual earnings. There is no other company in this industry that comes even close to having that type of asset value, and it's because these are customers. These are people that have responded to the infomercial. They're about wellness products. 92% of the people that order products from Trivita every month do not participate in the opportunity. They're not affiliate members. They're not working the business. There's only one reason, month after month, year after year, they continue to order these products. It's because these products deliver a wellness experience, and that adds to your business asset and helps you build a successful Trivita business. So
Terry, Terry, before I have you jump into the co-op media timeline, could you do me a favor? Can you really get in on your microphone? I'm not sure if we're having some connection problems, but you're really fading out, and we're having some people having trouble hearing all of your great information. So if you don't mind, get real into that microphone there, and so we can all hear the important message you're delivering tonight. So back to you on the timeline.
No, Ted, I'm sorry about that, and I apologize to you on the call here. I have a tendency to rock back and forth and to sway back and forth when I'm excited. I'm giving information, so hopefully this is better. I'm right up to the mic now, so thank you for reminding me, and thank you, Nancy Finland, for the email. I appreciate that. But I'm just so excited, and why is that? Because, you were here long before Terry Newsom ever came on board here at Trivita. You've carved the pathway. You were able to help develop and fine-tune this cooperative marketing program. Presidential directors are directors, the Ellison family, Ellison Media, long before I came on board here. And I'm just so excited that we're able to take this to the next level. And Ted, you've made everything, so readily available in the back office, you and your team. And one of the things it's so systematic, it's a system dependency environment. People fail, but systems don't fail. We've got a system in place, a system for success. And so it is quantifiable. It is something that you can follow, like our co-op media timeline. And it's important that you know this timeline because buying media is a process, not an event. You know, and it's got steps, it's got stages. And the first step is, of course, you going into the back office, make the co-op reservation, and then Trivita sees the demand, they see the visibility on this, and they forecast, so they go out and they purchase media airtime based on reservations. Sometimes this is purchased between 30 and 60 days in advance. Why? Because you can't just buy media and the next day, wow, you're on that station. You have to go through a process for that. So once they purchase the airtime, the infomercial is then aired. Okay, and then once those customers come into you know, the call center and they're you know, they were able to make their purchase, they get processed, batch processed through our system. Then your credit card is charged, the reservations are filled, and then the contacts are placed in your back office. So it is a systematic approach. It does work, but you have to help us by going in and making these reservations certainly in advance. And finally, the last slide is for you to learn more about cooperative media. You can go to the Communications Center. You can go to the drop-down menu under Media. You're going to see Marcus Ellison. He gives a great overview, a great Q&A about the cooperative marketing program, Co-op Media. I recommend that you do that because, like we said, outside of the referral pathway, this is a great way for you to build a successful Trivita wellness business. So thank you very much, Ted. Going to turn it back to you.
Awesome, Terry. Thanks so much. So how do you participate with this media program that Terry just overviewed? Well, if you're a new affiliate, let's say for our folks in Australia who are going to participate for the first time with media, or for those affiliates across the world who want to participate, let me walk you through the process as to how you do this. And I think what's important is, you know, it's really easy to qualify to participate in the co-op reservation system. There is a process that you have to go through, but it's easy and simple to do. And why do we have this process? Why do we have what we call a questionnaire for people who are making their reservation for the very first time? Well, this information that's covered on the questionnaire that you're required to take before your first reservation, it really does protect everyone with consistent and accurate description of the program. One of the things that's important is we want to make sure from a compliance perspective that everybody is positioning this media program, this contact-based system, properly. We're all using the same words, the same positioning, the same information. So that's what this questionnaire is. It really is also an educational program to let you know what it is and what it is not. We also have participants demonstrate that they understand the program and agree to the terms and conditions. So how do you demonstrate that? Well, you need to pass a very simple questionnaire. It also, in the training and the questionnaire, really does encourage all the folks who are participating in the media program to follow up. Because as Terry mentioned, you're really going to see an increase in the value of those contacts when you have that personal one-on-one connection and you follow up with those contacts. We call that customer spend value, and ask some of your co-presidential directors, your leaders out there as to the value of following up with your media contacts. We also do the questionnaire because it allows Trivita to contact you participants who are participating in the media program, that you completely understand the program that you're going to participate in. One of the last things we want to do here at Trivita is to have a new affiliate who's brand new, who doesn't really know the program, go in and make a reservation and not really understand how the system works and what it's designed to do and what their participation in the program is and how they earn compensation. So by making a reservation, it allows the folks over in AMS to follow up with those folks. Folks like Danita and Brad and their teams to be able to follow up with the people who are making those reservations. And the final thing when it comes to the reservation and the questionnaire, please do not take the questionnaire for somebody else. It really is simple. It's easy to understand. It doesn't take long to do. But don't jeopardize their ability to make a future reservation with Trivita by taking that questionnaire for them. It's to protect them. It's to protect us and you. So please just encourage those folks to go through it. It's quite easy to do, and I'm going to walk you through it right now real quick. So let's say this is the first time you've made a co-op media reservation. How do you do it? Real simple. You go to the Media tab in your back office. You select the co-op reservation option. There's a landing page that you'll go to. You'll see it does highlight the 4 steps. First thing you'll do is you'll select Start That Orientation Program. Once you select it, it's going to be able to show you a video that Marcus Ellison, our Senior VP of Sales and Marketing, recorded, and you can watch that video. There's also another printout of the video transcripts that's right below it. And if you select that video transcript button, it will bring up that video transcript that you can print out, you can read. Again, maybe you can better learn or understand something, or for your records, you may want to watch the video. For other folks, they may learn their cognitive skills, or I want to be able to read it so I can understand it better. So whatever is your methodology, you can either watch the video or you can view the transcripts. Now, once you've done that, you can then say, I want to start the questionnaire. And what it brings up are 10 questions that are outlined in the transcript and in the video, where you simply answer a yes or no response. Let's say you did miss a question. It will come back and show you those questions that you got wrong, enabling you to answer it correctly. Once you've answered all the questions or changed your answers, you simply submit those answers and go to the next step. From here, it's an open-ended question. These questions start from what is your plan for following up with your media contacts to number 5, do you have any follow-up plans or strategies that are not recommended in the 3-step Share and Earn program? We want to know what are your plans to follow up and manage the contacts you just acquired in the co-op media program. Now, these answers are important. They don't have to be long. You can actually see there is a word count. We only want a few words, but this information is sent then to AMS, where they will review your answers to make sure you, again, understand the program. So make sure you fill out this information in as much detail as possible. Once you've done that, you can continue down the page. It then is going to ask us, what is the best phone number for us to contact you with? What time is the best time to reach you? And what time zone are you in? Because as I mentioned, AMS will follow up with the folks who are participating in the program. So again, it's important that you don't take this exam for them, because we're going to be calling that account ID to make sure they understand the program completely. And there's also a final agreement to the terms and conditions. And if you want to read that, it is a link. You can click on it, and it pulls up a PDF that you can review the terms and conditions of the co-op media program. That's it. Once you're done, you select Submit Answers. You can then go out and make that reservation. You can make it the same day you pass that questionnaire. So what I want to do at this time, let me go ahead and pull up another poll real quick. And my final poll for today is this. Again, I want to ask this of our affiliates in North America. So North American affiliates, what percentage of your business volume comes from media contacts? Again, we've talked about referral volume. We talked about media volume. It all applies for that total group volume to meet the different levels within the career plan. So I'm just curious, as are our presenters tonight, what percentage of your group volume comes from these media contacts? Let me go ahead and close the polls. Let me go ahead and share those results. And you can see here, Terry, very interesting, and Mitch as well, it looks like we've got about more than 75% of the volume is our biggest answer, about 46%. 14% say 0, 1 to 25% is 11, 26 to 50% is 11, 51 to 75 is 19, but a majority of that volume is more than 46%. So thank you for that information. It really allows us to, really see the information that and who we have out in our field today. So again, thank you, Terry, for allowing me a few minutes to walk through the process of how to become qualified to participate in the co-op program, as well as to take a quick snapshot of our field out there and see what volume is being brought in through the media. So I think, Terry, between your overview of the program, the questionnaire, hopefully we've got some people who now understand the program a lot better, and I know our Australians are excited when that program hits their country and the media goes live there. They can come back and refresh this information so they can jump right into the co-op media reservations. But Terry, I want to kick it back to you real quick, because I know you work closely with our next presenter, and I know you want to introduce him because he's got some exciting things to talk about on tonight's program. So Terry, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Ted Hernandez, and I appreciate it. It is an honor to be able to introduce our best practices presenter tonight. Of course, I'm talking about Mitch Lever, Presidential Director. Before we turn the call over to Mitch, I do want to say this about him. We have 18 Presidential Directors. He was our 3rd Presidential Director. And I'd say that based on your poll, Ted, Mitch is one of the guys in the 75%. I mean, he's bought media content, more media contacts, he and his group, than any other group in Trivita. But on a personal note, this guy really does embrace the mission. He's all about wellness. He's a family guy. He's the best father that I've ever seen. This guy really does care about his family. He cares about his Trivita family, and he cares about others. It's an honor to work with him. And he's a guy that really also is an astute businessman. He's owned, franchises and traditional businesses, as well as an extensive background in the direct selling industry. So he's a package deal. He is versatile. He's multi-talented, and he's going to share his insights tonight with you. So I'm turning the call over now to Presidential Director, Mr. Mitch Lever. Mitch, it's all yours, my friend.
Terry, thank you so much for those kind words and invited me to be on the call tonight. It was really interesting to me to watch those polls. If you were somebody that said, I don't understand the co-op media, find your presidential and ask them to explain it to you. If you were one of the people that was hesitant to make a media reservation because of the cost, you probably also didn't understand it. So find the presidential upline and find out more about it. It's really interesting. The co-op marketing model is, as Terry said, time tested. I started about 8.5 years ago, and I, from what I understand, purchased the most co-op advertising in the B12. I got the Member of the Year award in 2004, 5, and 6, and they tell me about more co-op media than anybody else. And I got really excited about the media program because I'd been involved in network marketing, nutritional products for about 12 years before I got into Trivita. And what I found was I could always find a customer that wanted to use the product and could get results. I could always find an affiliate that wanted to build a business, but they couldn't always duplicate that. My affiliate wasn't necessarily able to find customers or affiliates, and it wasn't about failure. It was about them not experiencing success. And Trivita took all that away because they get the customers for us. They get the members for us. But in addition to getting the members for us, in other network marketing companies that I was involved in, I was sending out audio tapes to the customers to encourage them to reorder or explain the product, and I was sending out newsletters to the customers and doing all kinds of things that cost a lot of money. Well, Trivita takes care of that back-end marketing for us with all the customers, with the Vita Journal, the catalog, continuing TV infomercials. I mean, that infomercial, a lot of my customers see that infomercial and they call up and order again because they saw the infomercial. It reminded them and inspired them. It got them to call again. So all those things are back-end marketing for us that are really beneficial long-term with our customers. And so that's really very unique in our industry, and I've never seen it in all the other companies I've ever either been involved with or have been presented to me. When we say it's a perfect addition to the referral marketing, I mean, you guys all have your center of influence, and you've gone through your center of influence and talked to them about the products. And so you've gone to your center of influence and you've tried to tap into their center of influence. Well, the co-op media contacts all have a center of influence also. And what we're really trying to do is tap into their center of influence. I mean, when we get a co-op media contact that gets good results on the product, and You know, Blaine always talks about the super customers, people that are buying more than $300 a month in product. Those are super customers. They may not be using it just in their household. They may be buying it for the neighbors. Those are referrals. And, you know, when we go with our gift of help, where we go to our media contacts that are buying large quantities of products, we want to offer to give the gift of help on their behalf, and to talk about them becoming referring members through the gift of health, or referring those people so that they get the back end marketing also, so that they get the catalogs, they get the Vita journals. And so it helps not only accelerate your growth and increase the size of your group list, but it also gives you new people to talk to tap into their center of influence. You know, I've always said that I want all of my customers using more product more often at a lower cost, so that they're getting better results. Because if they're getting better results, they're telling everybody, and that really increases the growth of our business and our reach, who we can tap into, who we can touch, who we can help, and who we can build with. The other thing that the co-op media really does is it levels the playing field. What it does is allow for everybody to get in our business, and so anybody can do it. Absolutely anybody can do it. My 18-year-old daughter, she became 18 the beginning of September, and she dashed to director, and she got started building her business. Terry, she's going to be planning on going to Hawaii, so she hasn't quite qualified yet, but we're planning on having her qualified this month to go to Hawaii. And you know, I've got Elvita out here in Carefree. She's a grandmother, and she got started in the business a few years ago. She's a 2-star director. She'll be in Hawaii. So everybody, the gamut, an 18-year-old to a grandmother, can get started in the business and take advantage of the media co-op. Now, Terry talked about it just a little bit. If each of us were to go out and try to do media, we could do a little bit, but the power of this co-op, because the co-op is so large, we're getting so much more bang for our buck when we get into the media co-op. And so anybody can do it. And let's see, one of the things that we do in our group with co-op bundles, I know somebody had asked the question, can we place and give away the enrollment of the co-op bundle? But we use the co-op bundles to stimulate our business for sure, but also to motivate and recognize the affiliates that are doing things. And we give an awful lot of our bundles away to somebody. I know we talked a lot about it early on. There's financial capital, people that have money and can buy bundles. There's also human capital, people that will be able to look after the bundles, that have the time, the energy, and the desire to look after the bundles. You know, I'm fielding about 50 calls a day, mostly from my affiliates, and it doesn't leave a lot of time to go after the bundles that I have, but I can certainly give bundles to some of my affiliates that are doing well and that I know that are going to take care of them and expect a great return. But it's one of the ways that we use them to stimulate, to motivate, and to recognize our affiliates that are actively engaged in the business. I think it's one of the tremendous things about Trivita, and one of the ways you can really accelerate your business career with Trivita. And it's one of the ways that you can really build your business. So I'd encourage everybody to take advantage of the co-op advertising program. And if you either didn't understand it or you thought it cost too much, I would really encourage you to get with your upline presidential and learn a little bit more about it and look at that reservation system and get started. Terry?
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate that. Terry, I'm going to pick it up from here because we've got just a couple minutes left. I'm going to wrap it up with some prizes. Mitch, thank you so much for your information. If you've had a chance to meet Mitch at the event, lots of enthusiasm, lots of energy, really does take his Trivita business seriously. He's fun to be around. He's got a lot of insight. And he's like all of our presidentials. They're willing to share their information with the people who want to listen and who want to take advantage of the programs, the opportunities, and are willing to work hard in their business. So, Mitch, as always, thank you so much for supporting us on these webinar series, the events, and we'll see you out in Hawaii, my friend. Good job tonight. Thank you so much. Well, let's go ahead and give away some prizes. Let's ask you a question, and again, your responses are important because we do collect these responses and we put them in that follow-up email so everybody can see what are the best practices out in the field. You heard these tonight from Mitch, but let's hear from you. And here's tonight's question. Tonight's question is simply, give my second here, there we go. How do you use co-op media to complement the building of your Trivita business? How do you use co-op media to complement the building of your Trivita business? Now, what we heard earlier was that there are two ways to grow your business, your personal referrals, the referrals that you know, and also using the media program. So a little harder question tonight, but I think that tonight's information is how do you complement the growth of your business? So what are you doing out there? Let me go ahead and pull up the questions tab and see what some of our responses are. I use it by placing people within the business builders in my organization. For a lot of team building, making some notes here. To pay it forward, it gives you access to others so they can personally refer. I place them with working AMs to put my capital to work instead of the stock market. Well, again, this is not an investment. We want to make sure that we properly use this program, and it is a business of contacts for follow-up. Follow-up with the bundles, expand the contacts, match bundles in the downline, get referrals in place. Co-op creates an active environment to work daily. That's a great answer. Stimulates by talking to fresh people, energizes my attitude. Well, there you go, Paul. That's a nice answer. All right, I got a lot to make new friends. Thank you, Mr. Elkers, there to help AM a chance to grow. For people who don't have the confidence to talk to people, they are happy to use co-op media instead of doing their own ads. That coming in from Darlene. So some great answers. Again, we're going to collect all this information. So I want to thank the people who are participated in tonight's polling. And again, thanks for taking these seriously because I think we've got some great feedback from people who are taking your responses and are making some great use of them. So thanks for sharing what you're doing out in the field. And as always, you just grab some names by random there. Tonight we're going to give away a TiVo Sport duffel that you can see in your back office, some of the Trivita gear that you saw on display this past GOS in the lobby. We also had it on showcase at the last Director Forum in Hawaii. I'm going to give this away to Cindy Paulette, Paul Garniak. Hope I pronounced that correct. Paul Garniak, I have your ID. Cindy, I have your ID as well. And also Darlene Jacques. So Darlene, Paul, and Cindy, I have your name, I have your ID. We will get this out in the next couple of weeks. As you know, these are all custom ordered, so we'll get that out to you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on tonight's live broadcast. You are not going to want to miss next week's program as we continue our discussion on the co-op media and how to present it. Now that you understand the program a little bit better, how do you go out there and present the co-op media program? How do you talk about it? How do you get someone involved with it? How do you explain it? What are the most often questions that come up? Well, we're going to have Mr. Tony Kent on tomorrow night's program. If you went to the Galaxy of Stars, you had a little glimmer to hear how professional Tony Kent is, and his thank you speech at the end of the gala dinner was absolutely inspiring. My wife walked away from that night and said, that was very inspiring. Kudos to Tony Kent and his presentation. I had a chance to meet Tony in more detail as we went to Australia, and Tony joined us on that tour. So you'll be hearing from Presidential Tony Kent next week as he talks about co-op media and how to present it. Well, on behalf of Terry Newsom and, of course, Mitch Lover and everybody here at the Trivita corporate offices, I'm Ted Hernandez saying thank you so much for joining us on tonight's live broadcast. Tonight's program, conference call, and webinar has now ended. Good night and good health.